I, 35F, have known my boyfriend, 35M, for over 10 years, and we have been dating for 2. I have a passion for writing books, and he knows how much I like it, but when I finally self-published a children's book last month, he was really quiet about it, like he wasn't even enthusiastic for me. This past weekend at my family cookout, my father mentioned the book and how proud he is of me, but my boyfriend didn't react to him. He just walked inside, saying he was grabbing our drinks. Have you ever gotten that feeling when you tell a friend something good that happened in your life, and they instantly, even if it's just slightly, frown? That's the feeling I got in that moment. At the end of the day, my parents offered me some money to go to a book convention, and this time my boyfriend audibly scoffed. On the way home, I asked what his deal was, and he said that his job will provide for us, and he will let me have my fun as a creative for now, but I eventually have to grow up. If it matters at all, he's a back-end software engineer. I laughed because I assumed he was joking. He wasn't joking, got visibly more frustrated, and told me my meaningless book was just objectively illustrated poetry. I shut down, and he then was upset that I was acting mad, so I changed the subject. He continued to make my book a topic by jokingly saying my glorified illustrated poetry shows my middle child syndrome or that I must crave mediocre attention from people. I shrugged and replied, "Hey, if you think you're mediocre, then okay," and moved on. He texted me the next morning, saying I tore him down and that was wrong of me, and that he was just kidding with me. I don't feel like he was joking as he says he was, and he hasn't responded to me at all since. I am away on a planned work trip, and a lot of things are going on, so I haven't been able to think things through properly. Has anyone been in a situation similar to mine before? What's happening? Update 1. I will be referring to my now ex as Chris. I broke up with him a few hours ago, and it was a total crap show. He had ignored me for a full day, and I hadn't reached out to him because I was honestly fed up with his attitude. We've been together for 2 years, and I have never seen him act this way. I flip-flopped between thinking maybe he was having a bad day or that something was going on, and he transferred his negative energy to my book. But no, he's just a soggy, moldy baby carrot who didn't think I had dreams of my own, or that I would throw them away for him. Our mutual friends have told me that he had basically told them that I rubbed my success in his face, and made him feel like a simp just following his girlfriend around, being ignored when he has a successful business and a higher-paying job. He texted me the day after his silent treatment, saying that my not reaching out to him was a sign that I don't love him. He went on to say that I love my book more than I love him because I neglected him while working on it, and then I didn't praise him at the party as my biggest supporter. The rest of his paragraph-long text went on to say that he had this whole plan to marry me, and that we would be engaged this year, but then you started not listening to me, dropping things, and stopped focusing on us, our lives, and the future by taking up hobbies. He also said that my therapist poisoned me against him. For context, I was diagnosed with depression this year, and therapy has helped a lot. It hurt because I felt immediately like all I did was just rubbish to him. How could you say that to someone you love? I loved him so much because he was someone I thought I would be with forever, but I guess not. I got angry and texted him, asking, "What makes you think I don't love you? I'd do anything for you." Just as I hit send, his new message popped up. It said, "You wrote your book and you got your party. I assume now that I can finally have my girlfriend back, and we can have a talk. I don't think you understand how I want our marriage to be, so I want to make things clear." But then he responded to the message I sent with, "Are you kidding me? If you're not going to prioritize me over a book no one cares about except you, why am I even staying with you? I can go find a woman who supports her man and wants his career and dreams to be successful." So I said, "All right, go find her. We clearly don't work, so best of luck." What does that mean? Are you breaking up with me? What do you want me to do? You've made it clear I am not what you want anymore. You can't just break up with me. I think this is for the best. You can't just make that decision for me. You can't break us up like this. It's been 2 years. 2 years in which I wanted to do one thing I was proud to have done, and you needed to take a dump on it. You've been so sour about it, and I don't get it. So go ahead and find your new woman. But you can't just break up with me like that, we have to talk. He called, and I declined. Pick up, you are being ridiculous. He showed up at my door, and the second I opened it, he tried to push in, but I hadn't let the chain lock on. He was screaming at me. He said I can't break up with him. It's been 2 years. How do I think it will go for me to try dating again at my age? That's when I asked him to leave or I would call the police. He said he would never forgive me for the book because it had ruined me as a person. For some reason, I said, "Chris, take your mediocre stick out of your mediocre rear and be on your mediocre way," and then I called my parents to tell them what happened. My mom is over now, plying me with a mixed drink, and she's been making fun of his repeated "you can't break up with me" line, which he said many times in text and in person. She said she was proud of me because I am usually quite passive, and she didn't like him bulldozing over me. When I asked her what she meant, she brought up a lot of things I never really thought about. Chris would shoot me down a lot, and I honestly thought I was compromising for our relationship, but it seemed to some that I was just letting him speak for me a lot. 2 years. It feels like a blip and a lifetime at the same time. It's hitting me that it's over, and my mom is staying over with me, and I have many WTFs to deal with, just not tonight. Up comments about her mom. I was so upset and called my parents because I tell them everything. My mom was just like, lock the doors and I will be there in 20 minutes. She showed up with booze and let me cry. Then I caught her smiling and was like, WTF, Mom? She admitted she was proud of me for dumping him and glad she didn't have to go to jail because if I stayed with him after all that, she would have had to commit crimes, lol. Update 2. Holy hell, this blew up. I am usually a Reddit lurker on anonymous mode, so I was overwhelmed in the best way to see all this love and support. It made me cry. Good tears, I promise. I cried most of my bitter ones a bit last night on my mom's shoulder. She was right. I don't miss him, but the version of him I thought he was, so I choose to look forward. My dad is away on a trip, so he's not here to help me through this, but my mom and I stayed up and read all the comments together. She's not a Reddit gal but loved all your messages and says she's happy to be the Reddit mom, lol. Mom made breakfast this morning, and we were eating when there was a knock at the door. My mom held up a hand to halt me and got up herself to go to the door and ask who it was. Then I heard her say, you have 15 seconds to leave or you're going to be made to leave. I got up to see Mom shouting through the still locked door, peeking through my peephole. There was someone on the other side talking back to her, but she just kept steadily counting down. By the time she got to 6, she had put her shoes on and was holding my broom. I'm not stupid, I knew it was him. He left flowers and an apology card, along with a stuffed owl bear. Mom asked me if I wanted to read the card, and I said I did. It was basically a long-winded apology, admitting he was being a jerk but explaining that work had him stressed and feeling underappreciated, which all came out in a nasty way. He apologized profusely, saying he should have given me space and respected me more, and he promised never to do it again. He said he didn't sleep last night because he felt so much regret over what he did and that he would do better. He asked me to please call, saying he misses me and that we shouldn't throw away 2 good years of foundation over a stupid fight. I handed it to my mother, who read it, and then said, yeah, I bet. Then she stood up, went to the kitchen, and returned with a trash bag and my cell phone. It's now evening, but I had texted him earlier, Chris, we are done. All of the things you left at my place are in garbage bags on the porch. The neighbors have their camera pointed at the house, so please just take your stuff and go. Do not knock, I'm not in. If it's all there on Monday, it goes with the rest of the garbage to the curb. He replied asking where I was if I wasn't home, but I won't be giving energy to this. I will spend the weekend with my family, and I feel so lucky to have them. I've decided that I will go for another book. For those asking for links to the book already out, sorry, but when Mom and I read the comments, she said, don't you dare put your name out there. They all seem lovely, but you don't know what others will do. I feel like if I did, it would be like opening the door to Chris, like I did last night. You were right, that was a dumb move and could have been dangerous. I intend to be an author, whether it be full-time or part-time. Oddly enough, my book sales are skyrocketing online.